But yo,
welcome
back to the Mark Our Words podcast, the official podcast of YouTube. Chin, he did it.
God did.
No. I don't know if God did this one. Elon Musk finally brought.
They made him buy it.
They made him buy Twitter, and everybody's losing their minds and jobs.
Yeah,
apparently, man. But before we get to that, how
50%?
How are you doing, bruh?
I'm doing well, man.
If you're
knocking these episodes out. Shout out to us. Work ethic.
Oh yeah, we are moving, boy. I think we found our sweet spot. We gonna give y'all like 35, 40 minutes. And we ain't gonna burn out. We ain't gonna do things like that until we get a staff. Listen here, man. Y'all may have to take these 30 minutes to 35-minute episodes, man.
Will you want a studio? Like a podcast studio?
Ever since that interview, I'm learning to dream big. I was going to say no. But who knows?
Podcast studio and then we rent out?
It depends. What do you think?
I'm thinking about it.
Really?
Yeah, like seriously thinking about it.
I mean, I think it'd be a good investment, but like with me, I always have a thought with this podcast or with any business per se. I never want to be big like Google.
That's fair.
I never want to be big like those type of that have a staff of like 500 people. I always picture like this podcast having like a staff of maximum like probably like 20 people, maybe a little less. Because I feel like there is efficiency with less. And we can move quicker with less compared to having a big staff and they got to hit different levels. Like, okay, we got an idea, then we got to pass this on to the CEO, then we got to pass this on, then the CEO got to have a meeting with Chris and Chen, and then we got to see, then Chris got to find Chen and stuff like that because Chen is in Wyoming. You get what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like if we're small enough and we move efficient enough and the quality be good, things like that. But a studio, I'll tell you this right now. I just said a couple episodes. I'm gonna learn to speak positive and just not manifestation. I don't believe in magic, but just I really don't. Y'all people wild for it. But if magic,
welcome to your studio. I feel like that's how they manifest.
If it's in the cards of a studio, if the opportunity comes, I won't shy away from it. I won't shy away from it, and if we can afford it, I would love Elle to decorate it.
Oh, we can't afford that.
We can't.
You can't afford it. Hey, she said 10,000 minimum.
That's 2000.
That's a room.
And that's 2020. What year is this? 2022.
It's about to be 2023, bro. And she already booked for a whole of 2023, so we talking about 2024 numbers.
Today's price ain't yesterday's price.
Hey man, 10,000 minimum to come to the table. This is walk-in money. You got 10,000? All right, come talk to me. Cool.
What do like your payment plans look like? Can I pay this off in like can I
get a mortgage, a 30-year mortgage?
Can I get like a 200-month payment of $50, please? Nah, but we'll see. I'm just go if the opportunity arises, I'm open to it. You know what I'm saying? But I actually been good, and I'm sure it'd be cool to have something in Baltimore for people in Baltimore too, so rappers could come on there and talk about relationships and stuff like that. I'm not gonna manage it.
You said rappers?
You already know how. Like,
oh no, sorry. Studio for podcast. We're not doing.
You ain't doing music studio.
Nah, y'all getting shot too many times. Y'all stay over there.
You ain't doing Mark.
We're not.
You are not doing Mark Our Words Studios.
Hey, for podcasts.
Mark Our Words
YouTube videos.
Mark Our Words Records.
Yo. Hey, they said rapping is the most dangerous job.
That's a crazy thing, bro. Hey, it's just poetry to a beat.
Look,
you don't see poets out there getting assassinated.
Hey, man, I just want YouTubers and podcasters. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh, man.
All of a sudden, y'all want to play dice. I'm like, no.
So, man, R.I.P., man. It's R.I.P., man. But as I was saying, if y'all go back, I'm gonna put the link in the episode. We said that someone was about to buy Twitter that we all know, who we all familiar with, and some people believe that it was going to be a bad thing.
Yeah.
I believe he talked himself into the situation. I believe he had no intention of buying Twitter at all.
It was just a troll.
Yes, and it cost him over $40 billion. You get what I'm saying? Jack Dorsey was like, we have lawyers. That is a legally binding contract that you said you're going to do.
I don't think he was part of the
I don't think so either. But
staff at the time.
But they basically said to back out of it gonna cost you billions of dollars.
Yeah.
So you might as well
just go for
just buy it. In a span, now granted, y'all getting this episode in the future, but in the present, he just brought Twitter less than 7 days ago. In that span, about 50% of people lost their jobs.
Yeah.
He's now talking about selling the verified check mark. At first, I heard it was for $20. Now he's selling for $8 a month, making it a subscription. He's basically talking about unbanning some folks, and nobody's happy. It seems like. What is your thoughts? Because you had a wise you did a wise thing months ago.
When I sold my stock.
You sold your stock in Twitter. Do like you wish you would have held on to it?
Yeah. It went up after a while, but yeah, I think I don't know. I have no expectations. I'm not I like Twitter, but I don't love it. If it crashes and burns, cool.
As we gave a few examples. You have Jeff Bezos with the Washington Post. You get what I'm saying? You got...
I remember when he bought the Washington Post.
Yeah, it was a big thing. Elon Musk now with Twitter. Twitter is not just it's not TikTok. As crazy as that may sound. TikTok is probably one of the biggest platforms out right now. But Twitter holds a different type of...
It's news for a lot of people.
Yes. And now, a billionaire... who's in control of potentially news. Is there a danger in that?
I mean, it depends on what people...
I think it's a danger of Elon having that power and things like that, of that nature. And Jeff Bezos is no better, but I'm just like, should news, things that's supposed to be in some way fact-checked in some fashion. That's why people was having a problem with everybody getting a verified check. Because it was like, you can't really tell who's going to be the true news if everybody could just pay for it. I didn't think a lot would come from this. In my eyes, I'm just another rich person that owns Twitter. Because Jack Dorsey was rich when he owned it. Mark Zuckerberg...
Well, he didn't own it. Well, he was CEO.
When he was CEO, sorry. Excuse me. But I really think, in my opinion, and maybe you could correct me, I think things went bad for billionaires in social media when Mark Zuckerberg had that Congress meeting and how he looked and how he performed during that Congress meeting. I think we look differently at billionaires with social media from that event itself.
I'm not sure. I mean, Bill Gates had his issues. A lot of people didn't like how Bill Gates was just buying up a bunch of companies. Thought he was getting a monopoly over tech. The reason why he got ousted and he's no longer CEO of
Microsoft.
I think Jeff Bezos been a talking point for a lot.
He actually in the works of trying to buy the Washington team, the Washington football team, the Commanders.
Dan Signers. What's his name? Dan Signers.
Dan Snyder.
Dan
Snyder. The FBI is investigating him, so he's getting up out of there. But him and guess who else is potentially a partner in buying the Washington Commanders? Jay-Z.
My man, he plays y'all, and
he's not a capitalist.
He's getting his hopes. He's getting his wishes
to own a team.
But yeah, no, I think going back, I think people been scared of billionaires for a while. But the issue with Twitter is that people have been saying it's not a public good; it's a private company. Because it's a private company, they could ban whoever they want. Okay, then you got to have the same energy when a private somebody buys this private company, right? So it's either a public good or it's a private company. If it's a public good, that means that the government should be in charge of it, one. And then two, you should ban people based off of laws, not off of how you think it should
it's
be.
murky, yeah, not based off of emotions or how it come
or
across.
Who is right or who, you know, like what your political views are. If it's a public good. If it's a private company, then yes, you should be banned whoever.
And Twitter is a
private company.
I mean,
it's public, meaning you could buy stocks.
You can buy shares of
but
it.
it's not government.
Yeah.
Thing. So if it's a private company, I mean, yeah, why are you getting mad that you getting banned? Twitter don't like it. If you saying the N-word once, yeah, you're going to get banned. If you say kill white people, yeah, you're not going to get banned. But it's a private company.
but at the same time, when Elon...
I don't agree with killing all white people. No, just making that statement.
When Elon brought Twitter and it was official, it seemed like the woodwork just went wild and stuff like that. And that's when all of a sudden people were saying, now of course I think they was trolling, but trolling, but there's always some racism and a little trolling and stuff like that. You had some folks out there just writing the N-word, using all the characters, just write the N-word because they say, well, I'm free to say this and things like that. And I just wonder how those employees feel, because like, imagine like somebody just come and just buy your company that you work for and you drive a Tesla.
Oh yeah.
Like you got the Tesla hat, you got the Tesla shirt, you got the Tesla car, and he fires you. You have to go back to Toyota. You have to sell that Tesla.
You can.
You have to sell the Tesla.
You're not gonna get as much money as you pay for it. So only you lose. Only you lose.
Shout out to my man. He really. Hey, listen, the Tesla truck coming out. They say it's in production right now. So, but I guess my question is, will Elon be a good owner of Twitter? Like, cause to him, he seems like he don't seem like the type of owner that just owns it and just profit off of it. He seems like a very involved
type of guy.
Yes. Type of leader.
One thing about Elon is that he does not care. So he would try to make something good as far as he can without emotions. Like, he's like the shrewd businessman. There was a story where Elon wanted people to build a satellite and they couldn't get it done. So he fired the whole team. And they had like I think either Amazon, Apple, bought, or Uber. Somebody bought that team. Like all the people that work in that team. Elon was able to get that satellite or whatever. I forgot what the project is, but it was able to complete that project the following year. But the other company that bought the team or got the team, still are working on that same project. And so one thing about Elon is that he doesn't really deal with emotions. And so he's able to get things done. But I think the issue is, even though he's able to get things done, I don't know if that is the best approach. Because a lot of people don't like working for Tesla. I'm pretty sure people are not going to like working for Twitter. And it's like, okay, if that's the case, are we losing that other, and not to sound wooey, but are you losing that human element, which is necessary for building a great company? It's not just the products and the things that you push, but also the environment and the people that you attract to the company to build this company. And if you're attracting terrible people or people that just get the work done, and you don't have no pushback, you don't have no voices, then what are we? Should we trust Twitter? should we then put our hopes in Twitter or be able to tweet things and not think that they're doing something weird with our data in the background? I don't know.
I would just say, don't tweet.
Oh, you could tweet jokes. But if you're a news company, I would get a little worried.
You think so?
The thing is, you're right. Twitter is really like a social media company.
It's like the most social media. Like
politicians.
Exactly.
You got politicians, journalists, comedians, actors, regular people, funny people, podcasters, companies. It's really like a voice for all different types of people and entities. So, in my opinion, I think it should be a public good. Do
you think the government should control it?
I don't know, because like there's other governments that are other people outside the government that use it, right? Mm-hmm. So if it's the U.S. government, maybe they don't ban U.S. citizens, but maybe they ban
Putin.
Russian citizens, And is that right? So I don't know who should control it. Maybe it does have to be a private company, but it seems like a public good. And I don't know something that's a public good for international levels or on an international level. How do you make it fair for all people while also regulating it for all people equally? Not sure.
All this came about just by Elon buying it. All these questions and things like that.
I think these questions have been around, but on the right side, on conservatives. Because conservatives always like, it's a public good, it's a public good. Mm-hmm. You can't ban people. Now that Elon Musk bought it, the conservatives are all happy. Like, yeah, now we get free speech. But then now, the progressives or the left side is like, well, billionaires can't just be buying companies. I don't know. This is dangerous. How are you going to just have people buy things like this where, this is such a powerful platform? That's too much power for a billionaire. Well, I'm like, if it's a private company, then why are you tripping? It's like
exactly.
buying a yacht or, buying Toys R Us. Nobody would care if Elon Musk bought Toys R Us. So it's like, I don't know. I think it's a public
because Jeffrey don't have the same influence as
I
the
forgot that's that giraffe's name. I was like, Jeffrey. You talk about the guy in jail?
No. Who? Oh, I know you talk about. I ain't see that documentary, by the way.
Oh, I was talking about Young Thug, but not the.
Oh, shout out to Thugger.
Jeffrey.
No, it's weird. I remember slightly Jeff Bezos buying Washington Post. But like I fully remember, I didn't think it would be. For some reason I didn't think it would be a good thing, and it's because I don't think people believe they are like a good billionaire. You get what I'm saying? People believe like for example, what if it was a regular millionaire that brought Twitter?
Ain't got that type of bread.
But I understand that. But it's something. But my thing is, people feel like at least with millions, I feel like depending how much millions, people feel like, oh, you're a millionaire. That's common amongst millionaires. Meaning like there's potential, which I kind of believe but don't believe, that you probably made your millions fairly, and like you're a good moral person. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So if you own Twitter, cool. People don't believe billionaires have any type of morals at all.
I can see that
because it's such a anomaly. You get what I'm saying? So they already feel like you're like the evil villain. You're Dr. Doom that comes in. You're Thanos that come in because you're a billionaire. And I'm like, wow, I wasn't really expecting Elon Musk. The way he the way he portrays himself in these Joe Rogan interviews and things like that. I'm like, he seems really pretty down to earth. He seems really easygoing, you know what I mean? But it's like, people's like, this is the beginning of the end. And I'm like, really? I'm like, should I be worried?
I don't know, man. People overhype things. Donald Trump was bad, but I remember when everybody was like, this is the end of democracy.
We about to go to another election.
I'm like, all right, y'all, relax, man. I don't know if it's the beginning or the end. I mean, look, the only thing you could say, do is wait. Twitter, I don't know. Maybe because I'm not that big on Twitter.
Yeah.
Twitter's not that big in my life. I don't think if Twitter goes down or it's trash or people just start saying N-word on Twitter, all right, people stop using it. Like, and then, you know, there will be a new social media platform that's kind of like Twitter and implements all the good parts of Twitter. And, you know, that's the beauty of capitalism. It's like if people don't like it, people stop using it.
Yeah.
That thing stop making money. And then something else comes around and takes over that place. It sucks for all those people that put in hours and hours into their Twitter account to get 50K, 100K, 1.5 followers. But hey, if you don't own the block,
it was never your block.
It was never your block. So it's like, you know, and the same thing with all these YouTubers and all these other social media platforms. If you don't own the platform, you can't be mad if the platform gets sold to another person. It's like you hustling on the block, selling drugs, and say, this is my block. And then, you know, they bulldoze the whole public homes.
And like, they put a Whole Foods over there and tell you go get.
It's like, I thought it was your block. Why? They just don't. So I think that's the thing. I think, you know, if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. And Twitter just becomes trash.
Is there a rich person that you would prefer to buy that you would have been cool with? I'd say probably Oprah.
No.
You don't think so? Because I'm thinking like Oprah respects journalism. Oprah like respects the truth in some fashion.
Do you use Twitter for journalism?
I don't, but
that's what I'm saying.
But my whole
I use Twitter for jokes.
I don't use it for journalism, but that doesn't mean that journalism is not going to be under attack. That doesn't mean that like free press is not going to be under attack. Especially if they selling verified badges for $8 and things like that. There is a sports page on Twitter right now called Butt Crack Sports or something like that. Mm-hmm. I think it's called Butt Crack or Ball Sack, something like that, right?
Okay, either one works.
It's one to two, to where they purposely put out false information because their objective is to show us how gullible we are and how easily fooled we are by information. These people been quoted on ESPN as facts. ESPN had to come out and say sorry for the information that we said. We gave out false information.
But that was before Elon.
I know, but just think about it. They're not verified. They never gonna get verified. Now I can buy a verification for.
But you should know that. I don't understand. Like, I know you bought this verification. Why would I believe the verification? Like, that's the thing. Is like, yeah, the verification at one point meant that you was valid.
Yeah.
We all know that people are buying it now, or you could buy it.
So
it doesn't mean the same thing.
So that takes the validity from the people who are valid. That's dangerous the other way. Meaning, like, okay, even though
Twitter's fake. Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Twitter's fake. I tried to hold it.
I wasn't trying.
I tried to hold it.
Okay.
Twitter's fake. Look,
okay.
Your verification on Twitter doesn't mean anything.
Okay.
All those followers you amassed over the years doesn't mean anything.
Okay.
It's fake. I'm sorry. Go do real journalism. Go to the New York Times.
Okay.
Look.
New York Times.
Stop tweeting your little headlines and having people look. Those things don't matter. Now, I appreciate the threads. Some of those threads are lit. If you breaking stories on Twitter, though,
some of those people work at New York's Post.
Yeah, those are lit,
and they put those on it. So
threads are lit.
So my thing is, you go take away their validity.
But that's not. I'm not going. If you're going to Twitter for news, that's a problem.
But you have to, because now they charge it for news.
What do you mean?
Like depending what site. I don't know if it's New York. I don't know if it's New York Post. But depending, like, if you want to read like an article or something like that, they do subscription based, because you know the newspapers are losing money. So like to access the site and the article, you gotta be like a subscriber to where like it's a $2 a month subscriber or something like that. So it's like a quick way that I can get a glance or see what you're talking about.
But that's why we in the state that we in now.
Put it in the 100 characters.
That's why we in the state we're in right now, because somebody says a quick headline and then you read the story of that headline
and it has
that story that headline was a very small part of the whole story. And it's like, why would you make me think this whole story was about this when it wasn't? And so I don't know if Elon buying exacerbates those issues or not, but those issues are already a thing. And it wasn't being addressed. And it wasn't being solved. So I'm like, yo, let it crash. It's not like America. Like, America is something serious, where I'm like, I don't want that to crash because if that crashes, then man, I live in an anarchist state, and now I have people in Confederate flags driving down my roadblock talking about, hey, y'all seen some black folks? That my neighbors pointing to my house like, oh, there's one in there, sir. There's one in there. Come out, little Negroes. Like, nah, that's scary. Twitter going down, it's not that scary. I don't think it's that scary. It's not real. People say all the time it's not real.
I think it's an extreme chin.
People have been getting harassed on Twitter for years.
It's called cyberbullying.
Yeah.
That's real.
I know. So why y'all scared now? Oh, they're going to come back? They there. People go in. You say one thing. I mean, I think the issue, though, is that it has always been on the other side. So if you, like, kill lions in Africa, oh, yeah. They're going to tell you to kill yourself. They're going to tell you, we're coming for your wife and your kids. They're going to tell you that. But it's been there. But I guess the scary thing is it's going to be on the other side, too. Which I'm like, hey, man, get off of Twitter. Or don't tweet. That's why we don't tweet. That's why we don't get hate. That's why people don't tell us to kill ourselves or jump off the buildings. Because we don't tweet. Don't tweet.
I would say this. I think it's extreme for you to say that Twitter is fake.
You don't think it's fake?
What makes Twitter fake and Facebook real?
What makes Facebook real?
They said Facebook influenced the elections, so that had real results. So it's real to a point.
I see what you're saying.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we can't say that it's fake if it gives real results. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I just don't know what to expect. Because here's the thing. Elon don't have to say anything. He don't even have to give orders to cause chaos. All he did was his right and privilege as a boss. And that's fire people. That's his right. That's his privilege. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if some of them have buyouts. I don't know. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that's not against the law. He's the boss. And it's just chaos now. Just his mere presence is, I'm not going to say the cause of it, but it's giving people the motivation to show they're behind a little bit more because they feel like it's a freer it's a freer podcast. It's a freer platform because we have a free thinker leader. We have a free think, like it's basically like we got a substitute teacher that owns the app.
Question.
What's up?
Do you think these companies care about?
No.
Why? So why do you think they ban people?
You go say people?
Yeah. No, why do you think they ban people from platforms?
Actually, I really never thought of that. So, if these people don't care about people, why do they ban people from platforms? Public outrage. Okay.
But what does that do to the company? You know, like you gonna burn down Twitter?
What are you thinking? Give me a clue.
Ads. I don't want my company associated with racists or bigot.
Money.
Yeah, and the reason why I don't want my company associated with that because people actually buy my stuff. People don't buy your stuff. People don't buy Twitter. People don't buy Facebook. People don't buy YouTube. But they buy Manscaped. They buy Blue Chew. I don't want my product. Well, Blue Chew, I guess they could be a little raunchy. But if you're a company like Keeps or you're a company like that's a little bit more family oriented, you don't want to be associated with that. So the other issue is if Elon Musk allows free thinking and allows all those racist people to come, if I'm a company that's works in the, especially in the attention economy, and your intention is coming from racist people, and I don't want my stuff to be associated with racist people, I'm not gonna put my.
I'm gonna ban them too.
I'm gonna go to Instagram. I'm gonna go to YouTube. I'm gonna go to TikTok, but I'm not coming to Twitter because all your users are saying N-word. Like, why would I do that? And so what that either Elon Musk is going to have to die on that horse and just kill Twitter altogether because it's not making money, or it's going to have to adjust and start banning those racist people. And now it's going back to square one.
But he already gave some tweets, and I want to make sure it's accurate
Cool.
and stuff like that. He already alluded, allegedly. I'm just gonna say allegedly for now until like I find the actual tweet, to where he basically like, congrats to like freedom of speech, to where he emphasized basically his purchase of Twitter with like, you know, welcome back freedom of speech, basically. I just didn't think all this backlash was gonna happen with Elon. I thought but the thing about Elon kind of reminds me of like, this gonna sound weird. He's like Batman, but not like Batman in the way of like he fight the villains and whatever. He's like, Batman could easily just be a billionaire and just stays in his house, don't have to associate himself with the world and things like that. Like Elon is like the billionaire who is nothing alike the people. Granted, he's nothing like us in a sense, because he has opportunities and he's not oppressed in certain aspects that we may be oppressed and things like that that don't even have nothing to do with the color of the skin, but just the opportunity and money that he has. But he will bring himself down from his big castle and smoke weed with Joe Rogan. You know what I'm saying? Talk with Joe Rogan, put himself out in the open to be criticized. I think that's why some people really respect him in some fashions, because they're like, hey, you're not like the billionaire that like we only know your name but we don't know your face. Like he's like the guy that like wants to be seen. You get what I'm saying?
I think so. I just recently learned about this with this documentary called Edge. It's not called Edgelords, but it's like the state of males of today. And the way they described it is that, you know, the two gold figures that a lot of these people, whether if you're an alpha male or like a red pill guy, or you an incel or somebody who's like, you know, kind of like a loser but I hate myself type of guy. Like the two characters that they go to is Batman or the Joker, because they're kind of the same people, right? But in, you know, with different ways. The Joker is the guy that the girls don't like. He's a loser. Everybody, he's the villain. He's not cute. He's always making jokes. He's like, I want the world to burn type of guy, right? And then you got Batman. He's very angry. He goes against the grain. He's against the law. He's actually a criminal, low key. High key. He's high key a criminal. He assaults people all the time without any due process. But he's good looking. He's a billionaire. He got money. It's a red pill. And I think the people that really like Elon Musk are those type of people. The people that's like, oh yeah, he's a billionaire. He's cool. He smokes weed. He doesn't care what people have to say. He going against the grain. He's for freedom of speech. Even though he might not play within the laws of society, not real laws, but just the laws of what society deems is allowed. You know, he's doing the good work. You know, he's making cars that don't pollute the world. He's trying to get us to Mars, which is, you know, pushing human discovery, which we don't do anymore. And now he's advocating for free speech. This guy, he's the guy. I guess the thing is like,
this actually it's actually a headline that says, what kind of free speech is Elon Musk fighting for?
Exactly. Who decides what free speech is? And why is Elon Musk the person that gets to decide that? Because free speech could be, I could say the N-word, but then what does that do to your speech? Because now, if you don't feel comfortable in a space where people are allowed to say the N-word, or people are allowed to attack you just based off of the color of your skin or the gender or sexuality that you identify with, if people are allowed to attack you for those things, then why would you feel comfortable even expressing yourself or expressing your story? Yeah. Which then limits your speech. So then it's like, are you really fighting for free speech? Whereas I guess what Twitter's role previously was like, we want to give people who never had a voice the ability to speak. Because we know what white people think. We know what they think for years. And it's like, but we don't know what gay people think. We don't know what trans people think. We don't know what black people, especially black women, think. We don't know what black males think. We don't know what Latinos, Hispanics, Asians, whoever, right? Stories that we haven't heard for centuries, right? We don't know what they think. And so, yeah, we're going to ban people who go against these views, and they call it what
Are you talking progressive or
no, they call it like something class, protective class. These protective class sentences. We don't know we because we haven't heard from these people for so long. Yes, we might be a little bit more aggressive if your speech threatens their speech. Yes, we might be a little bit more aggressive. But then now people are saying like, okay, but why are people allowed to say, kill white people?
Yeah.
But you're not allowed to say so and so looks like a ape. It's like, okay, which one's worse? I don't know. If I was white, I'd be mad if people were saying kill white people.
Yeah, and if I was,
but I'm black, so I'm like, get this man out because you're calling people apes. Like, I don't know where you going with that. So it's I think that's the question is like, what is free speech? Is free speech like everybody's allowed to say everything? And then you guys get a fight against yourself, but it's like what most of the white people online is white.
But that's the thing about it, man. With all these apps and all this, like I said, we made an episodes back about watch what you say. People are speaking without actually speaking. You get what I'm saying? So they can write something, and it takes away, literally, it's taking away your voice. You get what I'm saying? And giving you the same voice, a regular, basic template voice. If somebody was to write, and granted, if you writing about white people, if you're writing about black people as apes, if you're writing about Asian people and all different type of race and stuff like that, and like you being racist, then you are racist. I'm like, for example, I'm going to, if you say something about a black person look like a monkey, I'm gonna put that old white country voice to it. You get what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And and the thing about it is, people are tweeting in more platforms, and people are rating statuses and stuff like that. That is putting a voice to what you're saying.
Should you get banned for calling a white person a cracker?
No.
And so that's the issue, right? Because then if your terms of service is you can't use any racial slurs.
Is cracker a racial slur?
Well, define racial slur.
Exactly. because
a slur against somebody based off of a race? Is that a racial slur? Or does it have to be, another definition is a slur that actually threatens somebody's freedom. Does cracker threaten somebody's freedom? Has it ever?
I feel like it's a response to what they call me.
So it's like, so now you came into a murky gray area because some people be like, well, if we can't say the N word, why are they allowed to say that? I'm not gonna say the C word. I'm not gonna say the C word. But why they're allowed to say those words, right? And I think that's a legitimate point. I mean, the way I think about it is, if I was white, you
just can't be out here calling me cracker.
Call me, what is this? I don't say the N word. Why are they saying that? I think that's a legitimate point. So it's like this freedom of speech is very murky because who has a right to it and who doesn't. And if I'm 13, 17, 20, I might not have lived in a world where I saw white people just do whatever they want to do.
Yeah.
So I'm like, hey, bro, I understand white people been doing wild things for years, but it ain't got nothing to do with me. And you ain't gonna disrespect me because that's how I feel about being a man. Like, if I'm not doing anything wild, if I'm not wilding, you ain't gonna just talk to me any type of way because some guy in your past or some guys are saying I'm a red pill and I think women should cook. That ain't my views. But you ain't gonna say, hey, boy, you ain't gonna be misogynist. Oh, that ain't me. I ain't no misogynist. I might be a little sexist. That's due to society.
Yeah, that's due to society.
I'm trying to fix that.
Exactly. Because
go ahead.
Black women matter.
Black women.
They matter for 4 episodes.
Hey, I work on myself, man. So it's like, who has a right to it? And then it's like, people are complicated. You know, what might affect some people might not affect other people.
I think that's what the issue is, and we gonna get out of here on this. To your point, nobody has a problem if they were to go buy Toys R Us, because Toys R Us is not essential to our freedom and stuff like that. When you start saying things like freedom of speech, people just hear the word freedom. You get what I'm saying? And they attest that to their everyday living patterns, to their everyday living things that they do in their routine. You know what I'm saying? And they feel like, you even have people who take freedom of speech and they feel like I can say anything because it's freedom of speech, even though they don't really
believe.
It's not that they don't believe, they don't really know what it means. You know what I'm saying? They feel like they can go to work and say anything because it's freedom of speech.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? They don't understand the things like you say about a private sector and a public sector, and the whole thing of why freedom of speech was even written in the first place, so that the government can't throw you in jail for the things you say. It's not because your freedom of speech ain't gonna stop you from getting punched in the face. You get what I'm saying? By Mikey down the street. Now you could press charges on him. Yeah. But he
still might punch you in the face.
The point, like, the freedom of speech is not lack of consequences.
You're gonna get fired.
Yes. You're gonna get an HR. They're gonna ask you to get your box and get up out of there. Yeah. You know what I mean? But my thing is, whenever people see these billionaires, they already feel like they're criminals of some sort.
That's her.
They already feel like they're part of some Illuminati group or whatever, and that some higher power or whatever is now going to control the press. The higher power being billionaires. The billionaires going to own the press now. Don't you have enough? You get what I'm saying? And now you want to control what's written and things of that nature. There is some type of I'm not gonna say code of conduct, but there is some type of murky waters, to your point, to where it's like, I don't know. Listen, you may just be the owner, but just the optics of it looks terrible. You get what I'm saying? It looks very inside. It looks very insider tradey. You get what I'm saying? It looks very and then he's about to buy the football team, Jeff Bezos. You get what I'm saying? He's about to own Washington D.C. You know?
Yeah, that's kind of wild, right?
So it's like,
yeah, that's kind of wild. Yeah, because a lot of politicians live there, and so you can get a lot of people like free tickets. Like, hey man,
you probably get a couple
box suite.
Probably get a couple warehouse builds or stuff like that. It should look Doomtown over there. So I think that's the danger of it, of just the optics of it. But like you said, I don't agree with it 100%. But if you feel like Twitter is going to be a detriment to your freedom of speech or a detriment to your mental health, get off the platform. Get off the platform. Now, I know that's hard because some people's job is to be on Twitter.
That's wild.
Listen here, newscasters, journalists, and things like that. But
write some papers.
We not buying them. That's why they write it digitally.
And we're not buying it on Twitter either.
We.
How you making money off of Twitter? I don't get it.
Yeah, man.
I don't understand.
Listen, that's why Elon was playing around, but now he about to find out how much money or how much money it don't make. You know what I mean? But everybody should just calm down.
Yeah.
Stop with the racist freedom of speech talk. It's so crazy how people have freedom of speech and like they use freedom of speech just as an excuse to say the most vile things. It's like, bro,
13 years old.
Nobody says freedom of speech whenever they really giving like a real thought out opinion or anything like that. They say, how come I can't say the C word? How come I can't say the F word? How come I can't say the T word? How come I can't say the N word? How come I can't say the C word? And I'm like, bro, this is not freedom of speech.
So this is what you want to do with your freedom.
Exactly. It's like, yo, you know what I mean? So like, y'all just calm down, man. Try to have a good rest of the week. Is there anything else you want to say, Moses?
Yeah, a lot of those people would not say the N word in front of us.
No, they wouldn't.
They wouldn't.
They wouldn't.
And so think about that if you want to say that word. If there was 3 or 4 black people in front of you when you say it.
And we're both over 6 feet, so.
Yeah.
So, good luck with that. Y'all have a good rest of the week, man. Blessings.